I'm Kelly Marshall, and I'm going to do a little video today on how to warp with the rep weave technique. Now, I'm going to show you the loom first to start out with because when you're threading the loom, you want to go 4 threads through each dent on a 12 dent reed, 12 dents per inch. And so we're going to look over here, and when I thread the loom, we are use 2 threads together at a time. So here at the edge there's 2 blacks. So 2 threads will go through on harness number 1, 2 on harness number 2. And those 2 are the 4 threads that go through the reed as well. So the border is all black and black, and then we get into our color block. So we have 2 threads. The green ones are 2 that are on harness number 1, threaded together, they're wound together and threaded together. And then on 2 we have threaded through harness number 2, we have 2 brown threads together. So these threads are always wound together in the warp, and they stay together through the whole threading process and weaving process. When I weave the rep weave, I like to use 2 colors together, and the reason I do that is because when you run 2 threads together, it only takes half as much time to thread the loom. One of the other major reasons I like to do that, you can see here in this weaving, is that you can blend colors. Like right in here, there's 2 different thread colors that are used to make up that color. By blending colors like that, it adds a lot of depth to the woven piece. And even the color right next to it here, this is 2 different colors wound together as well. So this is much more subtle, along with this one here, where this one is a higher contrast between those 2 different thread colors. And so either doing it subtle or with high contrast of different colors, you can get a nice effect and add a lot of depth to the piece. Okay, so for this part I'm going to show you how to wind the warp. I use a warping reel. You can use the same application for a warping board. I have 2 here in the cans, and they're 2 different colors that I'm going to wind together to make my green. So I'm going to take 1 thread from each, and this is something you can do at home very easily, is to use the back of a chair to tension it. So when those threads pull out, they will pull straight up, and you don't have to worry about them wandering all over the floor. So I take my 2 green, and then I'm going to use a rust and an orange together to make my other color. And you can use 2 cones of the same color as well. And I'm going to run that up through the back of that chair. And just knot my 4 ends together. I'm going to scoot over here to my warping reel. So I've got the threads, and I'm going to go over, they're tied together, and put the knot in there. And then I'm going to put my hand, I'm going to grab all 4 threads and put my finger between them. And that's my tension. I just hold on to those threads like that to be my tension. So I'm going to put my knot on the end, and I'm going to split my threads here at the first dowel coming out, and then I'm going to twist it, and here's my cross actually right there. This will be my cross. You might get a false cross back here, but you'll take that out when you're warping. But this is my actual cross. Now I use 4 pegs, and if you don't have 4 pegs, you can still do this. But on your warping board, so if you don't have 4 pegs, you want to keep this as high as possible so that these 2 threads don't separate. You don't want these to separate and become different lengths. But because I have the 4 pegs, I can go over that 4th peg, and that'll keep all my threads the same length. And then I'm going to wind around. You can do this on your board, and I'm just holding on to those 4 threads and go around my last peg and come back. And then here I am at the pegs again. So I'm going to go over that first one, And now my green is up, so I want my green up, and the orange is in between, so it goes green, green, orange, I want green next, and then orange is up. So I turn my hand this way, and then I come around this last peg. Now we do want our knot to be at the very end, so that did slide forward. So then my hand is going to come back up, and I want my green on the bottom, and that's next, so I catch my green, and my orange is on top. And then my orange goes to the bottom, and the green is on top. And then I go over that last peg and wind around and come back up, just hanging on to those 4 threads, split 2 and 2. Go over that peg. Now orange was last, so green is up. Green is next to the orange, and then orange goes up to the top. So every other one is green, orange at my cross. And then I come around the last peg again. So then this pair, this green and orange, these are the 4 threads that will go through the reed, and then they'll split at the heddles, and 2 will go through on one shaft, and the other 2 will go through on the other shaft. So that splits, there's my cross, and then I head back down. So if you can get a really close-up of that, so you can really see the cross there, and how the color of the threads alternate. 1 green and 1 orange. Great. Good luck with your warping.